The Ganges is a transboundary river of Asia which flows through India and Bangladesh. It is approximately 2,525 kilometers long and in the top 35 longest rivers in the world. The Ganges drainage basin is estimated to be around 1,080,000 square kilometers. The Ganges is India's most important and iconic river. It flows down from its glacial source in the high Himalayas to course through 5 states in the northern plains before draining into the waters of the Bay of Bengal. The Ganges has a number of tributaries including Yamuna River, Son River, Gandak River, Gahara River. The volume of the Ganges changes remarkably as it receives heavy rainfall and snow glacier melt in certain seasons. From April to June, the melting Himalayan snow feeds the river, and in the rainy season, from June to October, the monsoons cause floods. Water availability in the Ganges is highly dependent on the summer monsoon. Approximately 80% of India's rainfall occurs during the period from June to October. In winter there is less snowmelt and it is all frozen, therefore the river flow declines. The Ganges Delta is the world's largest delta and empties into the Bay of Bengal. It is also one of the most fertile regions in the world, thus earning the nickname the Green Delta. The delta is approximately 354 kilometers across the Bay of Bengal. A number of large rivers flowing through the Ganges Delta, including Padma and Jamuna, which merge and then join the Meghna before entering the sea. The principal seaports of the delta include Kolkata and Haldia in India, and Monola and Chittagong in Bangladesh. Uses. Millions of people rely on the Ganges River as a source of water and place of disposal for sewage, solid waste, agriculture runoff, and industrial effluent. The river is extremely important to people as they use it for daily needs such as bathing and fishing. Due to heavy population, the water in the Ganges has become a health hazard to drink or bathe in. However, people who ignore the warnings and use the river regardless of potential health issues. To many people, the Ganges River is a very religious part of their life. The river is a goddess in the Hindu religion, and he is worshipped for his purificatory powers, which is the power to remove all evil or negativity from any object or person. The Ganges is very significant to the Hindus as they consider it their most sacred river. The Ganges River Basin is very highly populated with homes and farms. The Ganges River has become a source of life for nearly 600 million people living at its basin. Today, the Ganges River is the most populated river basin in the world. It has the population density of about 1,000 people per square mile, which is 390 per square kilometer. Close to half of the country's population is living at the Ganges Basin. Human influence, especially agricultural water use, is already having an impact on water availability in the Ganges Basin. Farmers use the river for irrigation and manufacturing. The Ganges River is managed and controlled by the Indian government. The government who have brought up a project to rejuvenate the Ganges River. The World Bank is supporting the government of India with $1 billion in its efforts to do this. The project aims to plug some of the major infrastructure gaps in cities along the Ganges mainstream. Several key investments have been identified primarily to address the problem of untreated domestic sewage from towns and cities along the river. This will result in the installation of over 300 MLD of new sewage treatment capacity and over 2,000 kilometers of new sewage networks in these urban centers. Lessons have been learnt from earlier efforts and attempts to clean up the Ganges. Therefore, these investments have been designed to ensure long-term sustainability. The project is working to provide solutions to treat industrial wastewater for the pulp and paper industry in Uttarakhand and the leather tanner cluster in Jamja in Kanpur. Over 100 water quality monitoring stations will be installed along the river Ganges to provide reliable water quality data. These monitoring stations will be managed by the Central Pollution Control Board and will strengthen the regulation and oversight of the river's pollution load by helping planners better understand the point source versus non-point source origins of pollution, as well as to assess the impact of treatment on the water's quality. Patna has about 20 kilometres of sewers for 3 million people. Project investments worth 200 million will help cover the cities fully with wastewater treatment and storage systems. In addition, the ongoing 40 million investment in riverfront developments will not only build a 6-kilometre promenade along the river, but also help upgrade public infrastructures such as toilets, bathing areas, and other public amenities in 21 ghats. Project activities are focused on the cities of Kanpur and Allahabad and several other smaller towns such as Bithor, Nara, and Pusfar that lie along the river's most critically polluted stretch. These investments are likely to reduce the river's population considerably. Conflicts over the use of the river. The conflict between India and Bangladesh between the use of water. These two countries were unable to reach a water agreement. India is at the upper section of the Ganges River and has developed plans for water diversions for its own irrigation, navigability, and water supply interests. Initially, Pakistan and later Bangladesh has interests in protecting the historic flow of the river for its own downstream uses. The potential clash between the upstream development and the downstream historic use set the stage for attempts at conflict management.